Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Burgers with Eric podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Burgers with Eric podcast. My name is Stephen James. Today is Friday, April 14th, 2023, and today I'm joined by the Big Moose, the OG, the Airbnb king of South Florida, Eric Weingart!
The moose is loose.
The Big Moose. I love it.
Moose is loose.
To Eric's right is the producer of the Burgers with Eric podcast, Sexxy Lexi. Guys, great show today. A little bit different format. Lexi is going to grill us with 10 questions. What do you got for us today, Lex?
Well, to be honest, I know we're all moving a tad bit slow this morning,
Yes.
so I'm going to lighten the mood. I actually have more than 10 questions, but based off of where the conversation goes, I'm going to select them as we go on.
Fun.
But one of the things I want to start with, which I think is just kind of like a fun topic.
Well, hold on. Why are you dragging ass? I'll tell you why I'm dragging ass.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I asked you first.
Okay, well, last night we had dinner with a client.
Yeah.
And I'm Italian. We're all Italian. Wine is my weakness. I'm literally a food snob. Eric will make fun of me and my dad because we literally will have an amazing meal and talk about it for 2 hours. And
We'll talk about the chicken cacciatore for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the capers and the leeks were so good. Forget about it.
And Eric's just like, how can these people talk about fucking food for 2 hours after a meal? So yeah, I had my wine pairings last night. Had some oysters.
And then the wine back home.
Yeah, you know how
I'm
that
drinking
goes.
water and Pedialyte. You know, she's
I'm
still crushing
gassing
the wine.
Dude, I feel so bloated. We went to the Panthers game last night, and the Panthers organization kind of screwed up on our season tickets for the playoffs. Right? So the Panthers made the playoffs last 2 days ago or whatever, and they ended up selling our seats off. So the Panthers concierge was like, okay, cool. Sorry about that. For the last game, you guys can go in the little VIP area, like the club.
Same area we were at, kind of?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Were you with us? So, but long story short, it's a ton of food, right? So we ate chicken wings and sushi and pretzels and cake and cookies and pie and
Cookie
ice
Monster
cream.
came out.
Dude, 6. I had 6.
Steve the Cookie Monster.
Cheat day. So now I've been, on top of the Trulies and all of that stuff. I've been
Nothing worse than feeling unhealthy. Ugh.
just awful.
So we're all muscling through it today. I love it.
Yeah.
Just you got to do it. You got to execute it. All right, Madam Lexi.
Alrighty.
Let's see. What do you got?
And by the way, these are not. I love this format. These are not
Sure.
rehearsed at all. I don't know a
I have
single
no idea.
question.
Right.
So we haven't even had time to game plan. So we're gonna have to think on our feet. I love it.
Yeah, like I'm calling them boiler questions, but really like, yeah, we'll just go with it and see where it goes. We're all chatty Cathys. So a lot of interesting shit happened in Florida this week. We had this crazy flood going on, which was kind of crazy. So going off of that, everyone always wonders, what do you guys love so much about Florida? I mean, people would say the weather.
Yeah.
But what about for you guys? What's your favorite thing about living down here? Is it politics? What do you think?
You go first. You're new. I've been here a while.
Well, so I'm a little biased because my body naturally loves not just sunny weather. I love the warmth. I do love the moisture. I have arthritic knees, arthritic shoulders. I'm much more limber in this weather. But, for me, and it wasn't even, I don't want to say it was a political decision, but I came down here during COVID, right?
Yep.
But I will tell you this, it was really a financial decision.
Well,
Right?
yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's more of a freedom decision.
Well, freedom, right? So, but it all okay. So my here's what I'm saying, Steve.
Yeah.
I obviously wanted to blow up this Airbnb business, right? So when I say it's a business decision, it was because I saw how the state acted in a time of crisis, and that time of crisis was COVID. So if I'm going to open up a bunch of Airbnbs, I don't want to do it in a state that's going to shut down in a time of crisis.
Impede your success.
Yep. So when I say it was a financial, so sure we could say that's political, but I'm thinking strictly dollars and cents.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a political element to it too. But it is the freedom state. I will say this: I never wore like American flags on my shirts, but I'll tell you what, dude, I wear Florida Florida clothing all the time now.
He's
I'm
proud.
proud to be a Floridian.
Absolutely, 100%. You couldn't pay me to move back to New York State.
No.
You couldn't pay me. You couldn't. There's not $1 amount you could pay me to move back there. So for me, I moved here in 16, so way ahead of the COVID tyranny and all that stuff. I've mentioned before on other podcast episodes that I'm a big Second Amendment fan. That the right to self-protection is a God-given right. It's not a state-given
Sure.
right. Again, in my opinion, this is the way my brain thinks about it. And that ties into the duties of a man, which is to protect your family and your loved ones and all that stuff. So, in New York, if you want a pistol permit, it takes 18 months. And every single county in New York is completely different. So my first house was not in Monroe County, it was in Wayne County. So I had a Monroe County paperwork set up. Move that mic that way, there you go. Because I think it's picking me up.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a Monroe County paperwork set, ready to go. Then I moved, and they're like, no, totally different set of circumstances, right? So I gave up in New York. Now, the irony is you can move into the state of New York at the time and buy a high-powered assault rifle, which is a bullshit made-up word anyway, but an AR-15 from Dick's with a simple federal background check, comes back, and you can leave with hollow point ammunition. Let me tell you something. I'm severely more accurate, severely more dangerous with my AR-15 than I am a pistol.
For sure.
All right, so there's a certain level of just like incompetence in governing that, and at the end of the day, it is a constitutionally granted right. So, New York State kind of restricts you from being able to exercise that right. And when I moved to Florida, I had my driver's license for literally 24 hours, signed up for I think it was a 6-hour course in Florida. They did all the paperwork, all of the fingerprints, everything. They send it to the Department of Agriculture. 6 weeks later, you have your pistol permit. 2 weeks ago, Governor DeSantis passed and the Florida legislature passed constitutional carry, which means any resident of the state of Florida, so long as you have a valid form of identification, i.e. driver's license, you can go buy a handgun and carry it it's not open carry, but you can carry it concealed in public. And this is, one of the things that I think is really funny, right? Especially like the suburban house mom down here. Oh, guns, blouse, scary guns. But lady, you have no idea. I look like just a normal person. I carry my pistol everywhere I go. You are surrounded by firearms and you just have no idea. So for me, the move to Florida was for my, fiance at the time, wife now. But some of my favorite parts about living here is A, the no state tax, B, the right to your Second Amendment is not infringed whatsoever. C, it's business friendly. You can start a business in Florida in like 20 seconds, like literally 20 seconds on Florida Sunbiz. You go to the IRS website, you get your EIN in like an hour. You can set up a complete corporation in the state in under an hour. Whereas in New York State, you got to go through a lawyer and all this other stuff, bro. Yeah. So it's just, the weather is amazing. I'll go the contrary. I have no clue what month it is. I don't know.
Actually, though.
Yeah, that's the truth. Amen. It's crazy.
You guys find it hard to get into the Christmas spirit and all that? You haven't been here all that long.
Well, not to cut you off, babe, but for the viewers, Eric is my boyfriend. So we'll put that out there so we know each other a little better on that regard. But I make him come home with me to my parents still in Rochester, New York. He's a trooper for it, where we're all from. But Christmas is definitely one of my things, just coming from an Italian family.
I like it. I think it looks, I love Christmas down here. And maybe it's just because I had Christmas in upstate New York for so long, or Western New York for so long. I do want to piggyback off the Second Amendment thing, right? And I want to give anybody listening to this, I want to give you a visualization real quick. So in the Second Amendment, it talks about to defend against both enemies, foreign and domestic. And if you don't have a good mental dictionary, domestic meaning our local government, potentially, right? Martial law coming into play, and maybe there's, who knows, maybe there's fractions one day, and there's part of the U.S. military going against each other, and it could reach chaos one day. But here's what I want to say: in the parts of enemies foreign, to me, that's not even realistic. If we ever got into a war with Russia, and if Russia came down Canada and made, through Alaska, through Canada, and somehow there's troops in Colorado or Minnesota, we're already at a really bad point.
No, yeah.
You see,
If it makes it that far.
they make it that far. If our defense systems haven't prevented us from being invaded in Texas or the northern part of the country, we got big time problems. My big reason for the Second Amendment is knowing that there's 300 million weapons out there is a scary thought for our government to be able.
That's the entire point of why it was written. Okay, so nowhere in history prior to the United States Constitution did you have a ruling class that had an armed populace that they quote unquote ruled over. Now, again, a lot of this is my opinion. And we can debate this all day long. Well, the weapon of choice at the time was muskets. Well, the writing preference at the time was a fucking inkwell and a quill, right? Technology evolves, tyranny doesn't. Doesn't matter, right? So, at the time, before the Constitution, the Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence, all that stuff, these are legal documents. The Constitution united the states. At the time, when the 13 colonies were around, each colony had its own set of rules, but we were still paying taxes to the crown. At the end of the day, all these men got together and said, nope, no more. We're not fucking paying you without representation, right? So they were fighting back financial tyranny with the Founding Fathers had a full understanding that a government left unchecked will always become tyrannical. And we're kind of seeing, it's been a slow grind into that. And why do you think that every single time somebody does a school shooting or, whatever, what have you, the narrative is ban the guns, ban the guns. Well, by the same logic, you're going to have to ban cars because, plenty of people can just drive a bus into a...
I say that all the time.
It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. And look, I get it. Guns, the purpose of a gun is to put holes in human beings or paper or animals. But at the end of the day, believe me, you don't want your government unafraid of the masses. Look what's going on in France right now.
The news won't show it. The news won't show much.
If those people were armed, Macron would be done.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, good point. No, I say that all the time. Man, we could talk about this one forever.
I know.
But I say that all the time. Guns don't have legs and brains.
They don't.
Just like your analogy with cars. And I'll give you this analogy too, Steve. I thought of this off the cuff the other day too. Like, my thing is this. I love the fact that Florida just passed law, bill, whatever you call it, where they basically deregulated the impact on acquiring a gun. There's no training needed.
Yes, well, that's what I just talked about. Now, okay,
I agree with
you. Listening might think I'm crazy that everybody should have a gun. I firmly believe that. However, I also firmly believe that it is a tool that you need to be able to be trained on, because this is the other thing people don't understand. Violence happens so quickly that if you don't have training and you're not prepared, I don't care if you have a fucking hand grenade in your pocket, you're dead.
For sure.
It's the same thing with women that carry mace. Like, my wife carries mace. I said, honey, by the time you even reach for that thing, you're done. You're 110 pounds. If somebody wants to violently attack you and steal your vehicle or our kids, you're done. And it just doesn't sink in that the speed of an attack, if you are not trained properly with that tool, that's a problem for you. And it also creates a dangerous situation for everybody else around you. So while I'm a huge proponent of constitutional carry, if you are a Florida resident and you don't have familiarity with firearms, get familiar with firearms, because you're not doing yourself or the people around you any favors if you don't know how to use that tool. It's the same rate. Okay, let's tie it to the car analogy, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to give a 14-year-old kid a car without training. It takes a year. When they're 16, 17, you get your license.
That's a process.
It's a process. It's the same thing with guns. There's muscle memory involved. You have to know how to draw it properly to defend yourself in a situation like that. One of the benefits of it is, though, crime will go down. That is it's a proven fact that when you have open constitutional carry in a state, the crime numbers go down. The crime numbers in Florida are already very low because DeSantis doesn't hamstring his cops, right? So you're right. Yes, they've deregulated it. Basically, what they did was they took the red tape off of your constitutional right to carry a firearm and defend yourself.
So we love Florida.
We do.
We love Florida for the
I
second.
had
I
to
agree,
ask.
Steve.
And yeah, it's turning into, I think we've mentioned this before, but the 5th borough of the world.
Yeah, the 6th
Or
borough.
6th borough.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
I apologize.
I think Ryan alluded to that in
Yeah.
episode 1.
For
yeah.
sure. So I know we could all talk about this for hours. Love the state of Florida. I just thought it was a good intro. We've had a lot of really cool guests on here, but I genuinely want our listeners to know Steve and Eric.
Right.
So going on a more lighter note, you know, both of you guys, I'm well aware, you both have tattoos. So I'd like to hear about your very first tattoo and the story behind it. Either of you want to start off?
Go ahead.
So I have one tattoo.
And you have to say what it is.
Yeah, I have one tattoo. It's the definition. Don't worry, I love cats.
Hey, no, this dude showed up out of nowhere this morning.
We have a visitor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't know who this is.
This is aw.
He's
This
very
is a little
nice.
strange
he-
cat.
Yeah, he's extremely
Aw.
friendly, too.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Yeah. Well, you can hang out then, I guess.
Yeah, no, you can chill.
He's
Of course,
chill,
he's
but
black.
of course I'm
All
allergic.
black and
Yeah.
you know the stigma of black cats, right?
Axel might come poke holes in you, buddy. I know, thank you.
So yeah, man, I was never a tattoo guy, and listen, I have nothing to each their own, right? But when I was in the military, when you get out of boot camp, you basically have about 24, 48 hours. They basically go, all right, go party for a day, and then you got to go to your orders, right? So everybody goes out, they get messed up, right? And we were absolutely messed up. There was literally like 30 guys in a line. We're like, let's all get tattoos. You know?
Right on.
I'm not exaggerating. I was the 30th guy in line. All 29 guys got one variation or another of tribal,
Yeah.
a shark, or like a Navy anchor.
Yeah.
So I told the guy, I said, give me anything but one of those three and I'm fine. He said, well, what's your name? I said, Eric. So he literally put Eric on my arm, And you know what's funny? I would play basketball in the inner city all the time, you know? That's where the good runs are, you know? And I'd have my shirt off. And a lot of the guys I'd play with, like, hey, yo, Trick, throw me the ball, Trick. It literally looks like it says Trick versus Eric.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh.
Throw me the ball, Trick.
So did your tattoo artist have Parkinson's or what?
I think it's an old English writing or something.
No, it
it's
is.
terrible.
But it's so you. Like, it's just so you. For him to have this story, he also had that weird little piercing in the center of his
Oh,
chin.
you
I don't know if
did?
people know that.
You had a flavor saver?
Well, when you're in the military, you can't. I love my beard. You can't grow any facial hair.
No.
You can't. You have to have your hair tight. Your hair is too long right now in the military.
Way
Yep.
too long.
And so when I got out of the military, my initial thing was I just want to change my look. I literally got that labret piercing. I dyed my hair blonde. I looked like an absolute douche for a solid 6 months,
what
but
an asshole.
I was free and I was me.
Yeah.
I was,
But
Who's this guy?
But that was cool back in 2002.
Yeah.
You know, I had frosted tips, man.
Did you?
Oh, of course.
Damn.
Sometimes, dude, I had them red at one point, too.
You had red hair.
Yeah. No, well, frosted tips with like red, because I went on a couple of dates with a hairdresser. Anyway, but yeah, no, 01, 2, 3, I was the shit. Fred Durst was jealous.
that's my only tattoo though. That's it, and I've never.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've got a couple. And
Yeah, you're rocking.
you know, the first one on my right shoulder, you know, you stupid idiot 18-year-old kid in college, you're like,
It's always a good story.
I'm gonna draw tattoos. You know, so like just geometric shapes, just silly nonsense. But that was my first one. My second one was a combination of two, you know, tribal. That was the thing. Again, 101, 02, 03.
Such a vibe.
Such a vibe. So, you know, for any of you single ladies out there, if you ever see a guy with tribal tattoos, he's like 40.
That's a good way to look at it.
Guaranteed. It's like the female tramp stamp, right? If you see a female with a lower back tattoo, she's 40. Like between 35 and 45. Did that thing bite you?
It just nipped me a little bit, but I think
Oh
I went
my
to the
God.
belly. Don't go to the belly.
Yeah, don't never go to the belly. So those are those, and then on my forearms is always overcome in Italian.
I do like
You know,
those.
Yeah, as we learned in Ten Commandments episode, always overcome, is one of my 10 commandments, and it is tattooed on my body so I don't forget.
So would you get any more?
No.
I think he would.
Would you?
I would if someone made me a badass mural of something that resonated with my heart and my life story. I would cover that tattoo up, but
Yeah, it makes sense.
that's all. But I don't care that much either.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
let's make money. I don't give a shit.
Let's make money.
I'm married. I have kids. Daddy doesn't need any more tattoos. I'm all set.
I feel that. So this one's kind of interesting. It kind of goes off of, who you are today. We're saying no tats, cover it up, whatever. But I feel like, especially as I've known Eric and Steve, this will be cool to hear about with you. This is kind of more of a broad topic. What does spirituality mean to you? Do you look at it differently today than you did 10 years ago? What are your thoughts?
She went deep.
Yeah, see, we're switching it up.
Oh my God.
She went deep.
I'm going back and forth here.
I like it.
Am I going first every time?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Pressure's on.
You're responsible for her, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, okay, so I grew up not religious at all, and honestly, I really, I don't think anybody doesn't do this, right? Everybody has kind of like a feel out period where they're wondering and they're thinking and they're deep thinking and they're trying to figure spirituality out, right? And you have people in all different factions here, right? You have your devoted Christians, people of other religions, and then you have atheists, right? For a long time, I always considered myself an agnostic. An agnostic would basically say you can't prove either party right or wrong, right? So you kind of took a middle ground, right? So more on the atheist side, but here's what I truly believe today. So, we've all seen or read The Secret. If you don't understand the law of attraction,
Universe.
Go research it, okay? Because obviously, I am. You could point a gun to my head right now, Steve. One of those guns you got. All right, and you ask me, is there some type of energy or some type of force working in favor, against? Is there some law that is working? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know there is, because I can't tell you how many times where I've done something. I'll tell you a story about when this really triggered for me. So I remember there was this, when I was my last girl I was dating, right? I remember I said, for Christmas one year, I said, we're living pretty good. Life's good. I never really had Christmases when I was younger. Once it hit like 10 or 11 years old, Christmas just ceased to exist for me, right? Yeah. So I said, why don't we take a little bit of money, $1,000, and maybe just give back to some group this year. I said, why don't you do some research on it? She said, okay. And she found this organization in Rochester called... it was like battered women. So basically, men usually have the financial power. The women are being abused physically. I forget what this house is called. Women are being abused physically. They finally get tired of it. They take their kids and they leave. Yeah. And the men have all the financial power. They just need some type of financial help for a little while until they go through the divorce proceedings. Right. Anyway, it's a really good group in Rochester, but I forget the name. I'm so sorry. So this woman had two children, okay? It was they're both maybe 10 or 12 years old. One was a boy, one was a girl. And part of the way we were giving back this year was we were basically going to honor some of their Christmas wish list, right? So I said, well, let me see the wish list, okay? And I looked at the wish list, and it basically went from more immediate needs to more desirable needs. So it started off with a toothbrush, went down to like Beats.
Flat screen TV, right?
Yeah, Beats headphones, I think was the highest one, right? So I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I looked at the list, and I mentally tallied it up in my head. I'm probably making 150, 60 grand at the time. Not a millionaire, right? And I look at the list, and I said, I got $3,000 I can easily afford, right? I said, why am I even thinking about picking one or two things? I said, get all of them. So I got all of them. So I call her up, and I said, just get everything. Let's just make these kids really happy, right? Dude, I'm not even lying. I'm on the phone with her. I said, I got to take this call. I take this call, and it was my largest deal in CGI history at that time.
Of course.
And I made more than
what you just
than $3,000. So that's, I know now that one instance can totally be random. I get that, but I can't tell you how many dozens of times that has occurred to me in my life.
Yeah.
So when you ask me about spirituality, I don't know the answer, but I know there's something there, and I recognize that the better intent I have with people, the more reciprocal the world is with me in a positive way.
What goes around comes around.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, it goes right back to, the secret. The whole universal law of attraction says what you put out, you get back. Hey, Matt, you want to get this damn thing away from the cameras?
It forced me to pet it, and then it bites me. It's like, but
that's a cat. That's how they do it. They're
Little
like,
fucker.
I love you so much. Not that hard. So universal law of attraction, right? It also goes to relationships, it goes to business, it goes to work, because the harder I actually work when I create something, the windfall afterwards is tremendous. When you donate to a good cause or people in need, it'll always come back to you in one way or the other. So as far as spirituality, that's kind of where my head is at. Do I necessarily believe in magic books? Not really, because they were created by humans. I struggle with it a lot, and I don't know anybody that. Yeah, we're gonna leave that one alone. I don't want to piss anyone off.
That's fine.
But no, spirituality wise, yeah, it's more karma, right? Put out good, you're always gonna get good back.
Totally.
That's
so I agree with that. Now, going off of that, you said that. I'm saying what goes around comes around. Now, what's your love language as a partner, but also as a friend? Because I feel like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, so for me, it's words of affirmation.
Sure.
Is me.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I buy people shit. My girl, my friends. I love picking up
Gift
the tab.
giver.
No, I'm right there too.
Yeah.
I like giving.
For sure.
Just taking care of friends and family. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
no, mine is words of affirmation, because fuck else is this for? Like, it's for you. If I'm just constantly giving to you and you don't say thank you, then fuck.
Yeah. What's the point?
Right. What's the point?
So I wanted to ask that, because I feel like sometimes with spirit, like those things go hand in hand with the spirituality side of things. So what's interesting is that Eric and I went to dinner last night, and I want to bring this up because him and I are obviously not married yet. No kids. Steve, you have twins.
I do.
2 beautiful twins.
You're monsters.
So one of the things that I find when Eric and I go out to dinner with couples and they have children is that we get such mixed responses. And we were talking about this on the car ride here, because some people are just, I'm telling him I'm noticing more, and this isn't you, this is going off of our dinner last night. I'm noticing more that there's more people that are saying, like, really consider before you have children.
Yeah.
Now,
No, and they say it like, you might want to think twice about that.
Yeah.
That's how they phrase it.
And I'll probably be one of the oldest out of my friends to probably have kids, just considering like where we're at in our life.
Sure.
So I told him, it's so interesting. What is this like? Has it always been like this? Like, do you think that the parenting?
You're the parent. You got to answer this.
For like, my wife was all about having kids. Like, that's her culture dictates that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm from an Italian family too. My grandmother had 7 kids, so big giant Italian family. Times are different.
Yeah.
They're different. The cost of childcare is astronomical, right? Like, I have 2, dude. The food bill is out of fucking control. Clothing these kids is out of control. Not to mention, now really the only way you can, if you don't have 100% effort and attention on your kids, the only other thing you can do is prop them up in front of the TV or an iPad. Right? So, like, right now for mine at 3, the iPad's a cute little way to distract them for a fucking hour so we can at least, clean the house a little bit. What I'm terrified of as a parent is not right now, right? Like 18 to, I'd probably say a year to about a year and a half, 2.5. It's really difficult, and it's taxing on your relationship, it's taxing on your sleep, it's taxing on your finances, it's taxing on fucking everything.
Yeah.
So, and I have very wealthy friends that don't have kids. They're in Cambodia right now. They're just like, no, I'm gonna go fuck Cambodia. I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? So I think people look at you too and say, you guys are living this insane life. Right? You're living this incredible life of freedom and, you know, not necessarily no responsibility, but no responsibility.
Oh, it's on our decision of time.
Correct. Like no responsibility to anyone but each other, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people that have kids, you know, sit there and realize it's just like, damn, you know, just give me a break. You know, my wife just needs breaks from time to time. And, you know, we're blessed enough to be in a financial position to hire, you know, babysitter / nannies, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day just so we can feel normal for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, so the first, you know, I got 3 years in. The first year, pretty easy. You know, babies are pretty simple. They're cute, they're cuddly, they eat shit and sleep. That's it. That's all they do, right? It's the 18 months to 2.5 that's like, what the fuck did we do? So like for you guys, my advice to you would be ask people that have a little bit older kids and see what they have to say about it. Because like for us right now, it's just like, you know,
here's the flip side to that though.
Yeah.
So I can't talk on this because obviously I'm not a parent yet. But watch this. Ready? Here's the flip side to that.
Let's hear it.
Do you want to push your kids back?
No.
Right? They're those moments and those feelings and those that when your girl first called you daddy.
Oh, dude, every day.
You know.
So as miserable as they make you sometimes, all they do is like, Daddy, what are you doing? And it's just like, holy shit. Like this little person who's like half of me is obsessed.
That's my point. You wouldn't reverse it for the
I wouldn't
world.
change it for anything. And again, I was, I wasn't super sure I wanted kids, but I'll tell you something. The second they showed me Scarlett for the first time,
oh my God,
my kid, it was like a fucking switch, like a.
She was before Anthony, right?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
A lot of dads do tell me that. They do tell me
dude.
There's a
So
switch.
spiritually something went off.
Oh, 100%.
It changed.
For sure.
No, 100%. And all my friends before that were like, oh, you'll see. I'm like, what the fuck you,
What
man?
are you
Like,
saying?
What are you talking about?
Because the women probably, let's be honest, the women probably have that. Ooh, what a fascinating topic. They're probably already feeling that.
Of course.
Because
that's the baby rabies, brother.
Yeah.
Third and fourth month, there's probably there's a bond there where maybe we see it on a visual.
Of course. Yeah,
visual.
we're different animals, man.
Men are something else.
We really are.
So,
We're definitely visual.
Oh, yeah.
you're disgusting.
I told you, he's a fucking murderer.
You both are disgusting
She
humans.
knows all too well.
Oh my God.
These are good. Good job.
Yeah, I like
These
it.
are
This is
good.
pretty good
Yeah.
so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're good enough where like we can get into depth and go detailed, but like if it's just something light and fun to talk about, I'm cool with that too. Okay, so
hold on. Before we
ahead.
do that, so and this has been my advice to you guys. Like, really weigh it. Like, Eric, I know you're dying to have kids and all that.
he wants a basketball team.
That's great. Well, so then do it.
5 kids?
Let's do it. Great. I think people are just trying to warn you that, hey, listen, it's work, dude.
Yeah.
And it is it's work. So I think a lot of your friends that say stuff like that to you are like, why do you want to destroy the perfect lifestyle you've built? But on the other hand, it's like, okay, when I'm 80, you know, and if my wife's dead before I am, hopefully I get hit by a bus before she dies, you know, like who's going to be there to take care of you? You know, so like I know you're all about legacy. It's a great way to do it, but get a different perspective from people that have a little bit older kids.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
No, I like that. I definitely like that.
All right, go
Uncle
ahead.
Steve, love it.
What's next?
Oh, we're liking this. Okay, so how are we feeling? Are we liking the light ones? Are we liking the deeper ones? So let me know, because I've got a lot.
I don't know. I think you've done pretty good.
I'm trying to balance
going off
here.
your own intuition.
Okay.
Ready?
So this one that I think could be funny, but also like, you know, serious too. Like you guys are both men. We've talked about the testosterone. Going off of that, like there's a lot of like male suppression I think that's going on in the country. One thing I want to talk about is obviously you guys are 2 very strong men. This is just something, it's not my question, but I want to point out that we were saying that it's so hard for a guy like Eric and Steve to find the comparable clothing for their body type.
Yeah.
So I had an aha moment yesterday, and man, to go off your
Yeah,
what
no,
we
go
were
ahead.
saying, right? So I hate to call myself a conspiracy theorist. There's such a negative connotation to it, but I'm definitely I'm skeptical about everything.
Yeah,
right?
as you should be.
I'm skeptical
Especially
about
nowadays.
everything, and I've always had a tough time putting on clothes. And once I eventually, I haven't even told you the whole story about me meeting my biological father and my 2 half sons. But anyway, they're very muscular, heavy.
And they're his 2 half sons.
Yeah, they're my
Oh, you're half brother.
Yeah.
half brothers, and they're very
I was
strong.
going to say half sons.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
is this something
my
new
half-
here?
We got some we got some skeletons.
We got to tell that
Got some
story
baggage
eventually on the
here?
podcast,
Yeah,
right?
for
But
sure.
but anyway, I'm always having a tough time putting on clothes. I've always struggled with it, and once I find like Tommy Bahama or Robert Graham or something that just fits me, I just stay with it, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
34 Heritage jeans fit me. I just stay with that. I don't go anywhere else.
You know,
So
I
it's
get
tough.
pissed
You get
off
this
in the
trouble.
dressing room.
Because it's the worst.
Yeah.
What if that's an intentional demasculization of society? Like, men are too big. You are supposed to be thinner.
Like,
Fucking skinny
don't-
jeans.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be thinner.
We're
Of
thinking
course.
about this.
No, I think you're right.
That
And they try to make you
blew
feel
my
like
mind
shit
thinking
for it.
about
Like,
that.
oh, I'm a big dude.
Yeah, like I feel like crap because I'm a 260-pound dude.
I love it.
loves it.
I love
I
it
do. I
because,
don't wanna s-
because I'll take that 110-pound scrawny little fucking nerd that mouths off and snap him in half over my knee, and he knows I could.
Going back to the protector
That's
thing.
of course.
It's
but
good.
dude, you're right. I've never.
Never dawned on me
I
till I was in
can't-
the car with her yesterday. I go, ding.
I can't put on skinny jeans for shit. My calves are the size of my head.
Yeah.
I can't wear that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So, no. Think about the feminization of men. Period. It took two. I was talking about this with my friends. It took 2 generations of one faction controlling the education system to completely feminize and like delegitimize masculinity. Dude, when I was in high school, we had like rod and gun club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like Mr. Jackson, the science teacher, who had his fucking fingers chopped off by a snowblower. Like this is a Vietnam
man
veteran
shit.
doing man shit.
Yeah.
Is like, hey, I'm gonna take you 8th graders to shoot skeet after school. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like this is looking back at it now, like, dude, that's not even a fucking thing. But it took 2 generations to completely feminize boys and men.
Yeah.
And people, well, why are young men shooting up schools? Well, when you force them to fight what nature tells them they are, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? Everybody's going to go haywire.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? So the original question was what? Clothes? We went off on a whole other fucking
Well,
tangent.
that's why I love these
No,
questions.
it all ties in.
Yeah. So the reason I'm going off of this is it's kind of in like the relationship spectrum. Like I come from a very traditional family. Yeah.
Same.
And I think that's why my relationship with Eric works, because I let him be that man.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And I think
dude, if you couldn't even have a conversation, I can't have a conversation with a feminist.
Right.
You would no. It would take 12 seconds for them to be like, I fucking hate you and your toxic masculinity.
You have balls, you're bad.
No, you're the fucking worst. Okay, see ya. You know?
No, I
sure.
agree.
Right. So no, you're absolutely right. You are the perfect fit for him. And girls like you, dude, I sing your praise all the time. You're a 26-year-old trapped in a 40-year-old woman's body, because women that are between 35 and 40, you have a much better shot at finding a traditional value woman, because chances are their parents are still married and they have a reference for what a love relationship and or a marriage is supposed to be.
Sure.
That was on my short list, because every girlfriend I ever had, divorced parents, single mom, this, that, the other thing. And at the end of it, I said, enough with this shit. Like, enough. I will die alone in a pile of money. I'll be fucking rich as shit, surrounded by German Shepherds, right? I'll just start a German Shepherd rescue because that brings me happiness, and just fucking die alone. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll be like George Eastman and donate $100 million. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So at the end of the day, I set out to find, if I was going to find a partner, that was a non-negotiable. I needed a traditional woman with traditional values, and I found it.
And there's so much less of that, and this
So
is
much
going.
less.
Yeah, that's why it's going off of like the demasculating thing. Like
Yeah.
all of my girlfriends, like I'm 26, and one of my girlfriends, she's actually like more traditional like me, and she is having the hardest time finding a man. And that's all she wants, right? She just wants a guy that's like like what
She's ready to get on that path.
Yeah, she wants what you guys offer, and we're always giving her advice like date up. You'll probably get a little more like luck with that.
Yeah, she's 26. Don't worry, we're not going to say her name. She went out with a guy. Listen, I asked her on the phone the other night.
Yeah.
I said, "Can I ask you a question? Are you an alpha female?" And I meant that as a genuine question. She said, "Oh, absolutely." I said, and she went out on a date with a 23-year-old. I'm like,
Why?
what you need is an alpha right back at you to put you,
Well, now,
you need a 32-year-old if you're a 26-year-old woman, right?
yeah, 32 is probably in her wheelhouse. However, alpha females, it depends on where they're alpha.
I love that you brought that up.
You understand what I'm saying?
There's a time and place.
Of course. Because an alpha female is going to just trample over a beta.
For sure.
And then that
She's
goes,
very feminine, though.
That goes to another. And you can be feminine, but
This
look,
fucking
at the end of the
cat.
day, it's all about where are your alpha,
I
right?
love
Like,
that.
are you an emasculating bitch?
Right, because nobody wants that.
Nobody's going to want that. No high-value man is going to take an emasculating bitch and be like, I'll make you my wife.
Nah.
No, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So Alexis, just so, not to cut you off, Steve. I would argue Alexis is definitely an alpha female
Yeah,
in
the right way.
in the female circle.
You gotta go.
See, this was supposed to be.
See, I love the cat.
I don't.
I like the
I'm
cat
allergic.
too. I like the cat
I'm
too.
already feeling the sniffles. But yeah, I'm not alpha in my. I mean, there's times when the alpha comes out with Eric and we joke about it. He's like, you got to tame that real quick.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, this is all I do. I just give her the look and I just go.
Scale it down a
but
little bit.
sometimes you
You
do.
don't want me going up.
No, but like I said, I let you be the man. So it's kind of like, I have, like, he'll attest to this too. Like, I have 0 bad days, right? So, like, when I'm being alpha, let me be a little alpha.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the thing. You understand your role.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And people get so mad. Oh, what role? No. Men and women have roles to play in society and relationships and business and all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And anybody tells you any differently is fucking lying to you.
And they're not having successful
if
relationships.
you have an
and
agreement.
they're miserable.
Or divorce.
But if you have an agreement, the woman's a doctor.
Yeah.
She's making 250 grand. Our one friend, we know a woman who makes 500-600 grand, and the husband isn't. He's mostly a stay-at-home dad. I think he might work, but obviously that's their agreement.
Those are their roles
agreement.
in that
Exactly.
It
relationship.
never switches up.
Exactly.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, my brother-in-law put it to me really nicely on Easter. He's just like, what's your definition of success? We were talking about it.
Oh.
And he's like, and I said, well, it's not, he goes, one word. And I was like, you can't really sum it up that way. And he goes, yeah, you can. It's happiness. Right? So if you guys are happy in the roles that you're playing, what's the difference what everybody else thinks? No, there isn't one. No.
That's fair.
Right?
No, the happiness statement. That's fair.
Right. And it's about respect and trust and understanding and understanding what he brings, what you bring.
Sure.
And respect that and don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Look,
So
you can be an alpha in your little group of friends. You can be an alpha in the bedroom. You can be an alpha here and there. But when it comes to...
Ain't no alpha in the bedroom. I'll tell you.
you're disgusting.
He's fucking sick.
He's disgusting.
That's my time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
But when it comes down to, understanding that Eric is the, I don't want to say the boss, the wrong fucking word. I don't know how to put this. Eric's the boss when it comes to business in the household.
oh my god. And I prefer it that way. That's how I was
Okay,
raised.
all right. I didn't want to.
No. I'm not offended. In fact,
She
that's
loves to not think about finances. She doesn't even want to
It's
think
amazing.
about it.
no.
I wish.
And
I
I
hope.
don't mind like I grew up like that, but I don't mind doing the other shit.
And I want to do it. I
Yeah.
want the burden to be on my shoulders.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I want it.
Of
you know?
course.
And we-
Because men's purpose is to create, protect, and provide.
For sure.
That is what we were put here to
Baby,
do.
I got you.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's
baby, I got
that's the protection, comfort. It all goes kind of hand in hand.
What happened?
Yeah, are we having issues with the microphone here?
No, I was just. How does my sound sound?
You're fine.
Oh,
Sounds
it is.
good.
Okay.
So yeah, we joke too because happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, no. It's
I think
horseshit.
and that's kind of what I can't stand. I have a really hard time because like I have some girlfriends who are younger down here, and sometimes I like to level with them because there's times where they get like upset at little things, and I'm like, hey, like
Yeah. Ease back a
come
little
on,
bit.
just There's a way to handle it. You don't got to come at them. Don't got to come at anything else like that. But going off of this is what I really wanted to ask because I think it would be interesting. And I'm going to ask Uncle Steve first. What really makes you like pissed off? Like whether if it's friends, family, whatever. What's something that'll bring out that man in you that you just like you don't even give a shit. You're just going for it.
Oh, just the rage switch?
Yeah, what flips your switch?
Now, is this with his wife or is
No,
this,
we don't got to talk about Tanya. I just mean in general.
Just in general.
In general?
Because obviously every relationship has fights, but like let's just say there was a guy in the street.
Look, out in the real world,
Sure.
what pisses me off is just complete lack of awareness of others around you.
For sure.
Right? Driving makes me fucking insane. Makes me insane.
Florida drivers.
Sometimes I wish I was driving a Mack truck and could literally smash into them. But look, as I'm older, like at 43, whatever, man. You know,
like that.
whatever.
I think it's whether I'll tell you what would fire me up.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't. The only time that used to really come out was athletically, right? That nasty side. But I will tell you this: whether it's her, whether it's a friend, like me and you got into an argument, it really wouldn't make me emotional at all. Just don't try to belittle me in public.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's bad.
We're around a bunch of people.
Yeah, right.
That's bad.
Okay, you're not gonna trump me in front of people and make me look stupid.
That's bad.
No,
that's like
wrong.
a social
With people-
standard,
with-
though.
What makes me really mad is doubting my intent. You know what I'm
I can
saying?
understand that, yeah.
Like you clearly don't know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? Like don't do that. Pisses me off. And then like doubting me. Don't fucking doubt me.
For sure.
Because it's not that I'm gonna beat you. Because I'm gonna fucking beat you.
Of course.
I'm gonna make you look dumb. I'm gonna make you look really fucking stupid, right? Like, don't doubt me.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
You see, as I'm listening to you say that, you're sick in the head because
I'm
you
sick.
want it.
I do.
Yeah, you want.
Oh,
it.
I do.
You're like, oh, you doubt me?
Oh, he's not gonna
you
start
doubting
it.
me?
Oh,
you
dude,
doubting me?
I've been doubted my entire life.
Yeah.
And that's why you're successful, though.
Of course. And it's fun. To me, it's a fucking game.
Bring back
It's
bullying.
almost like I could see you having a conversation with somebody. Do you doubt me? And they go, no, not at all, Steve. You're like, I think you doubt me.
I think you do.
I see doubt in your eyes.
No, it's like, I guess that's what gets me fired up.
Yeah.
Not like no superficial shit at this point really gets me angry.
But it's kind of motivating, huh?
Yeah.
In a sick way.
Yeah,
That's why you guys are sick.
Fuck yeah, dude. I draw a lot of it.
I'll tell you what does make me angry too, and this is being on the stronger side of men for sure, right? I will defend people. Like if I see someone, dude, I'll give you an example. There was this one time I saw this bar fight happening. These guys are like 150 pounds, but these three guys are literally just bullying this one guy and kind of beating the hell out of him. And I got in the way, and I literally just grabbed these guys. Like, dude, like get the fuck off of them. You guys are being so.
Get the fuck out of here.
What makes me mad is watching bullies and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So this is a crazy story. I don't even know if I ever told you this. So what happened is these guys were so drunk. The one guy started attacking. The other two were like, I'm not messing with this dude, right? The one guy started attacking me. He couldn't do anything. I just grabbed. I swear on my life I wasn't aggressive. It was all caught on tape. I just grabbed him by his shirt and I said, no, relax, dude. You're not going to attack me. And he kept coming at me. And I said, well, I'm just going to, I literally said to the bouncer, can I just take him outside? He said, yeah, just get rid of him. So I grabbed
the bouncer
this
now.
dude into a curb.
No. I took him outside and he fell back and he hit his head. And he actually called the police on me. He had a big gash in the back of his head, and I had to go to court to defend myself and all this crap. But thank God everything was caught on tape. I was just defending the guy. So that's just a long, juicy story about what pisses me off is, and I don't know if this is good or bad. I hope it doesn't bite me in the ass one day. But I will defend other people who can't be defended.
Oh, 100%.
I do that too.
So in this world, in my opinion,
Yeah.
okay, you got wolves, you got sheep, and then you got the shepherds.
There's a lot of sheep.
Yeah, there are a lot of sheep. But did you hear what I said?
Shepherds.
Yeah. You're people like you more so. I lean more towards the wolf side. I will defend people that can't defend themselves, but strangers, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of humanity. Friends.
I couldn't have said it better.
That's good.
Look, friends, family. Oh, I'll go to fucking jail tomorrow. Like this is one time when I worked at Tiki Bob's. You remember Tiki Bob's?
It's in Rochester?
Yeah. You might be a little young for that.
I don't know it.
What's the little area called? Just to give
Oh,
it context.
it was High Falls.
High Falls.
Oh my
area.
God,
It's
I
actually
love
a
High
beautiful
Falls.
area.
I know.
No, it was, but it got ruined. That's a whole other
Yeah,
topic.
it was nice when it was.
So my sister goes on or meets this dude. And my sister's like 21 at the time. And I'm 4 years older, so I'm like 25, 26. Okay, she's fresh out of college. I'm fit. And this dude's like being inappropriate with my sister. And dude, I damn near went to jail over that.
Game of whooping.
He gave him a whooping, didn't have to. Because I was tremendously larger than him. My sister's tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was bigger than my sister, but I'm like, you fucking do that again in front of me, I'm gonna snap you in half. Well, what are you gonna do? I go, you fucking find out what I'm gonna do. Right? And then it was over. But that's an example. Right? Now if I see old people getting bullied, okay, great. I'll jump right in. Regular men? No. Where my mind went when we're thinking about that, you actually got sued because this fucking guy's actions had consequences. It just goes back to the demasculization of men. There was a time where, dude, if your kid mouthed off to an aunt and uncle, a fucking stranger in public,
Oh my God.
and the person smacked them, the parents were like, goddamn right.
Yeah.
Now, oh, you touched little Billy. I'm gonna sue you. Get the fuck out of here. No, how about you were acting like a douchebag, and a bigger man than you removed you from the situation before you got fucking hurt. You want to sue me? What is wrong with us?
That goes back to you just not liking humanity.
I just fucking.
You know what's fascinating too? How wild is this? 2 years later, that guy died of cancer.
What?
Guy that was it brain cancer?
No,
I know. I was waiting for something crazy.
delete. Maybe. No. Apparently, he had some type of cancer during that time. But sad story.
Maybe that's why he was all messed up.
Maybe he was trying to get you to kill him.
Yeah.
You know.
You just never know.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank
never
God
know.
for the tapes, because he had a big old gash in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Thank God for the tapes.
Well, now that goes back to what we talked about at the top of the episode, dude. You like down here? Fuck no. No. Everybody's carrying a gun.
Yeah, I think if that happened down here, now that you say that, especially if I'm with her, I'm not getting shot over.
Now, if somebody's fucking with her or with your friends,
That's
dude,
happened to me down here. Not with a guy with girls.
Yeah, all bets are off.
They're crazy.
But strangers? Nah. Especially here, dude. Mind your business.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
That's what that's fucking sad.
You know,
It's sad.
it is. And going off of that, like moving down here, like where we're from in Rochester, I'm sure you guys would agree that for the most part, it's like a conservative area, but like people have that like Midwest, like people are genuinely
Generally
good people.
kind, yeah,
Decent
more kind.
people.
Right. So
Sure.
that was like one of the biggest things for me with moving down here is I just realized people are so fucking rude.
Because it's half Manhattan, half New Jersey, half Boston.
Right, which I'm
That's
fine
why,
with, but
yeah,
like
I'm
I
not.
used to be so like, I'm so nice to everybody
No.
because that's how I was raised. Oh my God, this
Yeah,
one older
not
lady.
here, dude.
No, this one older lady, like probably late 50s, older than my mom, tried to start with me and my 26, 23-year-old friends.
Yeah, you told us that story.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a Boca mom, right?
It was
You
a
asked her to
Boca
walk
mom.
outside, right?
She asked us to go, you want to take this outside?
Right.
And we're like, no, lady. Like,
Yeah.
people are crazy.
Yeah, they're not. It's kind of like when we were at Luna Rosa with the old lady that literally
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
she ran into me. We were just walking, me and Eric were walking, minding our business. This lady like shoulder checks me. She was like 104 fucking pounds, like drives a shoulder into my ass, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, nothing, no apology. Mm-mm. And I mouthed off a little bit. Because what the fuck? Like, you're not the only person on the planet, lady. Well, what was your excuse? Oh, you guys were taking up the whole sidewalk. I said, okay, then go around us. What is wrong with you?
Or say, excuse me politely.
Right, something. Be polite.
Why do people think they can't be polite anymore?
Well, because nobody's going to say anything or call them out on their shit. Did you notice what happened when I called her out on her shit?
She freaked out.
Then just kept walking. Because you're all bark and no bite. You're all fucking pussies.
And that's
You're
most of
bullshit.
this world, by the way.
100%.
That's why I don't mind confrontation. What is your guys' placement in confrontation? How do you, can you handle it? Can you handle the confrontation? Do you need
ask
me
the
to
question.
elaborate?
Yeah, elaborate.
Okay, so Like Steve in that example.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of it answers the question itself. Like if there's like you don't mind being confrontational doesn't make you uncomfortable, does it?
No, I'm very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my question. What do you think?
But listen, I'm not confrontational
To be a jerk.
to be a dick.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no, don't be fucking rude for no reason. Because here's the thing. If I bump into you, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. You know, like.
Yeah, it's an instant reaction. Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad.
Right. And I gave that woman a solid 5 steps to turn around before I mouthed off. Did I not?
No, you did.
Right.
That woman.
And listen, I would have done that if it's a guy, a tattooed bald head guy,
Yeah.
a skinny little dude, anybody. Don't be rude, friend.
Don't be rude.
You know, fortunately, man, if you knew my past, I probably got into 200 fights up to age 19. It was bad.
Jesus.
I have not thrown a punch since I was 19, thank God.
Yeah.
But man, don't tempt me. Like it's,
I know.
like
you guys get the red in your
you know,
eyes.
yeah. And now that we've been training boxing, here's the other thing too. Now that we've been training boxing, if I ever actually, well, unless I fought some MMA guy or some crap, some guy knows all that stuff, I'm gonna get my butt whipped. But now that I actually know how to throw a real punch.
A devastating punch.
Yeah, no, it's even scary.
These things are like hams.
His
dude.
hands are
Yeah.
ridiculous. You should see his feet.
I got some big paws.
You
too.
do.
Those are some meaty 9-inch hands.
It's totally different now. So don't, hopefully I never have to, and I haven't in 25 years, but man, don't push me.
No, I know. And every day you get tested. Every day. But so it's almost, and this ties back to owning guns. I don't want to fucking shoot you. I don't. It would be in Florida. It is not my duty to retreat. Just so you know, in this state, you shoot first and ask questions second. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like think about that for a minute.
It's interesting.
It is not my duty to retreat here. I'm going to because I don't want to fucking kill you. Believe me though, if you're after me with a knife, I will not even fucking sort of hesitate. I won't even sort of hesitate. You touch my kids, I don't care. I'll let the judges sort it out.
Yeah.
Right?
And hope that they'll do
But
the right
it's not
thing too.
that's not my first intention. I don't want to do that. So to tie it back to what you're talking about, you're now trained. You're a beefy human.
Yeah, more than 98%
Well,
of
of
people,
course.
not the top guys.
Right.
But
So you're a beefy human with gigantic ham hock hands. Right? You could mush somebody's skull in 2.3 seconds flat. The point is now you have a responsibility, right?
Yeah.
You have like you're not a 19-year-old kid anymore. You have a responsibility to really tame that action. Right? Because you could do severe damage and get yourself fucked up.
don't get it twisted. You should see Alexis throw punches, dude.
Yeah.
I think her fundamentals are even better than mine. And she way better than mine actually. She's like tight with her dude. She would have dropped that Boca bitch.
Oh my God.
If she
I'd have
actually
paid to
had
see
to, put him bap, bap. But, like she would have been hit in the face like 6 times as she's going down. Just dead.
Listen,
Lightning Lexi.
people don't expect it. I'm a girly girl at heart. My nails are always done. I like my hair done, makeup, whatever.
I'm gonna beat a bitch.
But sometimes, exactly. And Eric knows it too. Eric's like, babe, there's certain situations that I don't even want to bring you around because I'm scared and I know that you're just gonna
It's in
go.
there. It's in there.
Yeah, she's got that dog.
There's
I
certain
don't know
people.
if it's ever come out, but it's in there.
I mean, he's terrified because he's like, I'm gonna have to fight someone off for you.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be boyfriends involved because of
Well,
you.
so here's the other side of it too, right?
Yeah, I don't want to
Men
have
be-
to whoop some dude's ass because
So here's the difference.
she's getting into it with some chick or
Yeah,
some
but
shit.
she's
or
a-
him. Maybe he's a fucking NFL offensive lineman and I get my ass whooped.
That's my point, right? So you're not mouthy. You're only mouthy until somebody mouths off to you, and then you're extremely comfortable with confrontation.
Yeah.
Okay? Most people that hit sideways. Men, be very careful. If you have a mouthy woman, she could get you in a lot of fucking trouble. Here's the difference. That one can back it up and probably beat the shit out of most guys.
You think so?
I don't know. Based on what he's saying, I've never seen you throw a punch. But I wouldn't... You could do some damage before, All right, look, we're at 59 minutes. You got any other pressing ones on there that you really wanted to talk about?
Any others that you had to?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right.
You know, okay.
And do you want to keep it quick? Do you want to keep
We'll
it?
see. I mean,
Do we
see where
want
goes.
it to be like a nugget thing? Like give off a nugget?
Whatever you got.
Okay. So we've been.
How about this? Give us 3, and we'll pick.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So we'll end it off on a positive note. I like to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to spread the positivity,
Spread the love.
especially on a Friday.
Right.
So he's laughing at me. Okay. So what do you want people to remember about you? I think that's a good one.
Okay.
Because we're talking about a lot of things on this episode that have happened throughout the duration of your lives.
Right.
And you both are very impressive human beings. I have to give Eric credit. I'm like, you kind of have guided me in this direction. And our guest here, you know, there's a lot of people, especially my age group, that
Yeah.
we need more role models.
lost,
Doesn't
sure.
matter what the
Yeah.
sex is, the
yeah.
gender, sex, whatever. Sorry.
Well, it is a whole
You know.
other conversation.
Sure, but
Okay, so remember. What do you want people to remember you by?
so go on. No, I actually want you to answer that.
That's a good
that's
one.
the one you
yeah,
want.
like
I
I,
like
want
that
that's
one.
the positive
Go ahead.
ending.
Go ahead.
No. Okay. This is to everybody. If I've ever been in a spat with you, an argument, if I've ever been in a competition with you, I genuinely wish harm on no one. I truly mean that. I genuinely, the day I die, I want everyone to know I'm rooting for everyone. I genuinely am. I don't want to see anyone fail. I hate seeing people unhappy. I hate seeing people not financially make it. I hate seeing people struggle in relationships. I genuinely want everyone to make it. I genuinely do.
So that's what you want people. What do you want people to remember?
That I'm
for?
truly unselfish.
Just, okay.
Yeah, I'm not selfish.
That's good. And
I'm
that,
not
cha-
selfish.
that has changed as you've evolved,
I think so.
Absolutely.
for sure. For me, the word loyalty crops up.
Yeah.
Like you know, he was a very loyal friend. Because I will. If you are a friend and show me respect, the same respect that I show you, I'll literally give you anything.
Yeah.
You know, the shirt off my back, like a room this day. I don't care what it is. So, for me, very, very loyal. Giving, big heart in that way. I have a steely exterior, but I am a sensitive boy. Mm-hmm. I have certain sensitivities, which some of that stuff has, as I've grown into my 40s, has scaled back a little bit. But yeah, no, for me, I'd like to be remembered as a very loyal, giving friend.
It's awesome.
Not to what you said. I root for everybody too. Black, white, brown, male, female. I root for your happiness. Most people are looking for happiness in buying shit, or they look for a reason to blame others for their unhappiness, which is fucking terrible. Because you're not a victim, and we've said this on the last one. You're never a victim. Your race, color of your skin doesn't fucking matter, right? If you're around a bunch of racist white people, well, get the fuck away from them. Get in a different circle. Move, right? If you're a white person and you're unhappy with your wife because XYZ, get a divorce. Move on, right? Your happiness comes from inside you. It don't come from anybody else. So, yeah, I root for that. I root for certain cultures to really understand this. The general populace needs to understand that too. That
Because you're Republican doesn't mean you're.
no.
Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Well,
Because doesn't mean you're
kind of
a racist. And
Of
there's
course.
been this kind of
right.
they've attached
that's
these
the most
things together,
retarded.
I hate that
That's
shit.
the most
Right.
fucking retarded thing I've ever heard.
and it's just so false.
No, it's
it couldn't be
completely
more
false.
false.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Now listen, maybe the Budweiser drinking boy in South Carolina that's never seen another black kid in his life, that in some little town with 82 people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Right. Right.
That's not us guys.
Sure, but so
Sorry, South
think about
Carolina.
this too. Like I was watching a Instagram meme the other day. It made a lot of sense to me. People need to blame their leaders, right? And it blew my fucking mind because I'm like, oh my god, right? Oh, I'm unhappy because Donald Trump's in office, or oh, I'm unhappy because Joe Biden can't form a fucking sentence. Well, what? What? Oh, the country's fucked. Right? No, we have to blame our leaders for the failure of our own actions. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's where it goes back to.
Well, think about it, right? All this, these government programs and welfare and all this shit. Well, now they've just created something to follow that, I don't get enough from my leaders. It's their fault. No, it's your fault.
Accountability.
Of course. It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
I was just going to say the lack
All
of.
right, I don't know how the fuck we got on that.
No, any topic can go in any direction with us, man.
Yeah.
It's the fun duo, Steve and E.
Alexa's killer job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You might have to bring her on a little more often. I love the female voice.
Dude, you can replace me anytime.
Listen.
Way better to look at.
Oh, thank you. But I like it. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys. And it was a change of.
Our special guest, as Anthony would call this cat, Spooky Cat. Spooky Cat
Black
is
cat.
because it's black. It's Halloween cat.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you to Matt Keller who showed up today. Too.
Yeah.
I like it. Matt,
Love having a live
young Matt
guest.
from the last episode showed up. All right, minute 5. We good?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
All right.
I'm really impressed, Alexis. You killed it.
Yeah, dude. Good job. Thank
You guys don't have to kiss my ass like that.
No, that's genuine.
Thank you.
Genuine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Burgers with Eric podcast. New episodes on Spotify on Saturday and YouTube on Sundays, or wherever you get your podcast.